Welcome back, nerds, to another episode of the Newblocknerds podcast. I'm your host, Chris, aka Prince, with a few of the nearest and dearest homies here. I got Nigel, Mike, and my brother Cardell here. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm good,
I'm
man.
great.
I'm good. I'm glad to have y'all on here. I know with like busy schedules and everything, things can get a little crazy, but this episode is really overdue because I've been wanting to talk to you guys about these trailers, namely the Avatar Last Airbender trailer and begrudgingly to Cardell's persistence, the Yu Yu Hakusho live action trailer, which I am not excited to talk about today, but we're going to talk about it. But first, Avatar. We're going to start the pot off on a positive note. Okay. So, Mike, I was really waiting for you because you're like our resident Avatar Last Airbender expert here. We've been waiting for this live action Avatar series for what feels like years. I feel like we've been talking about it in our group chats for a long time, and we finally got our first trailer about a month ago. So, Mike, I want to throw it to you first. First impressions, concerns, things you liked, things you're looking forward to.
I will say after the original movie, I am cautiously indifferent to hopeful about anything live action Avatar. I would say the special effects blew me away, but my expectations were below zero. So again, you got to take it with a grain of salt. I I'm very nervous that the creators walked out of the project after a year and a half. I'm very nervous. Some of the actors, there's no disrespect to them, and there's all the kind of stuff post production that can change, but just don't look great to me. But like some of the costumes and whatnot, but a lot of that can change. Like once you're just immersed in the world, I'll say like by and large, I was very excited about the trailer I saw, but I don't know, man. I don't know. The choreography and the special effects looked great to me in the trailer. So if they can keep that and they match the energy and plot of the show, then I think you're in good shape. But I mean, I can't believe they did as bad as they did before. So here we are. I mean, if you compare what Appa looked like in the movie to what he looked like in the trailer, then that's 100% progress. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to nail, and we're gonna get to this in the second trailer we talk about. It's hard to nail animated moments, facial expressions, etc., in a live action format. Like
Mm-hmm.
it just doesn't work the same way. So I will be very interested, to see how they translate some of that goofiness that makes Avatar Avatar. Because as much as I like a deep, serious kind of take on things, I don't love that like every show is trying to skew dark and depressing to make it like feel like there's something at stake. But yeah, that's kind of my gut reactions to seeing the trailer.
Yeah, I hear all your concerns there. Whenever you have like the creator or the creators of something walk away from an adaptation, that's never a good sign.
Right.
When it's just like, look, these people created it and they're like, nah, we can't do this. That's not great, right? That doesn't bode well. But just looking at the trailer, I mean, like you said, some of the special effects were great. I thought, like, I was really interested to see how they were going to handle some of the bending. Now, I just rewatched it today, but I noticed that there wasn't any like water bending. Like I don't think there's we're not even going to see like earth bending until season 2 probably, I would imagine.
Right.
So we only really saw fire bending. And the little bit of fire bending that we did see looked good, looked decent. So I don't know. I'm a little bit worried, but just like you said, I mean, maybe they can still touch up some things in post production. I don't know, Nigel. What do you think about the trailer?
Um, so I thought it did what a trailer's supposed to do. which is sell the product. I thought it was pretty good. I'm a big Avatar Last Airbender fan, and I gotta say, I don't know, I'm skeptical, man. I'm very skeptical. I was the one of those people who saw the movie in theaters, and my soul died when I saw it. It was it was so bad. You could put a whole class together of what not to do as a filmmaker watching that movie. And before I forget, you talked about how we didn't really see water bending in the trailer. Well, VFX artists will tell you water is one of the hardest things to render and to get right. So they're probably saving that till the end because they're probably still working on it until it comes out because it's very difficult to get water right. But like Mike said, it's very hard to go from one media to the next. Let's just say best case scenario, this show turns out to be good. There'll still always be the original anime, and it's like the whole the book was always better type of argument. It's
Right.
I feel like Mike said, some things didn't look right, and I think it's because some of the characters they tried to make look too much like the anime, and it's like, yo, like you're in a different medium. You can pay homage, but don't run into an Aquaman situation where you got a guy in a orange and green costume because you're trying to look just like the comic book. Like, no, like do your live action interpretation. Yeah, stay true to it, but just do your interpretation because you're in a whole different medium, so you got to present it a different way. Look at Cowboy Bebop, what they did with the live action Cowboy Bebop. They tried to do too anime and it just looked bad and it didn't work. Find out what made the original work and then do your interpretation to make it better in this medium.
You know what's a
Yeah.
great example of an anime that translated to live action really well?
Rurouni Kenshin?
One Piece. This is the annual plug. I just wanted Nigel to get mad.
I was gonna say, here he
No,
goes. Here he
Make
go.
me
Here he go.
roll my eyes in the back of my head.
No, but I mean,
go ahead,
to,
Chris.
I
Sorry,
mean,
sorry.
like Nigel, to your point though, I mean, like, yeah, like I think we're all kind of skeptical, right? But Mike, to your point too about the One Piece thing, One Piece was received really well, right? So I
Yeah.
think a lot of people are like, all right, maybe there's hope for this whole live action adaptation of anime thing. Which I mean, obviously Netflix is they're trying to carve out their niche here, right? Like no one else
Right.
is doing live action animes or attempting to do it at the scale that they're doing it, right? So
Let's be real. One Piece, I didn't watch it, but it was a flash in the pan. Like, how many live action adaptations have they had? I just reminded my boy the other day they had a Full Metal Alchemist adaptation. They had a Death Note adaptation. They
Death
had a
Note. Oh my
Bleach.
god.
I know Death Note was so bad, bro. It was horrible. They had a Bleach
Which
adaptation.
ironically should have been one of the easier ones to do,
you
all
would
things
think.
considered, right?
One
You
would
would think
think.
Which
when
wasn't.
they already had Death Note on Netflix, watch
Right,
the episodes.
right.
Horrible writing.
Well,
Yeah.
and I think the broader point is like you can't that's what made I know I'm on a call with a lot of non One Piece people, but truly what they truly went for was not reproducing some of the wonkiness, and they created a new form of it, and some of it landed, some of it didn't, but like I think people were more charitable towards it because it wasn't attempting to be some of the silliness that's on a comic book page or in an anime that you can't reproduce, and even some of the humor in the show, like that some of it didn't fit like the original characters, but that was okay because those aren't the original characters, those are
Right.
someone else. And in the same way, it's like I'm a huge Avatar fan, and to be clear, like I'm gonna watch all of it, I'm gonna be excited for it. Just seeing it in that different mode will be really cool, but I just it's hard to get behind a project that doesn't have the creators behind it.
Yeah, it's
Like
tough.
Yeah.
you have to wonder what the conversation. I know it wasn't money. They're making money regardless of if they're on the project or not.
Right.
So for two guys that like they have sat with this project for all of this time, for them to walk out again, Something
it's not a good
something
sign.
is
They walked
something's
out
going
and
on back
created their own company called Avatar, I think. Avatar
there.
Studios.
Avatar
It
Studios,
was
yeah,
so
yeah,
bad
yeah.
with Netflix that they created their own company right after they left. So
I mean, or
Well, and
and
what
not necessarily that it was like that was so bad this time, but maybe it was just all right. They felt like they were 0 for 2 with letting someone else take the reins on their creation,
yeah,
so they were just like, at some point, you just got to say, "Fuck it, we're just going to do it ourselves,"
right.
right? So
Thanos style, maybe.
maybe that's it. I don't know,
No,
but
that doesn't clear the air in the skepticism, though, right? Like,
No.
I'm still going to be like, okay, if the people who created Avatar said, "Yo, we're walking away from this show for creative differences," how are you having differences from the person who literally made this entire universe?
yeah,
Like,
that,
that's
And
what frustrates me the most. Like, bro, how are you arguing with me? I'm God to the Avatar universe. Okay, I made all of this. You can't tell me, oh no, Momo's supposed to look like this. Oh no, Sokka doesn't get girls anymore. Like, no, I wrote it. I made it this way for a reason. This is how it is.
are we gonna
that's
talk
that's
about the
that's
ending?
I know you're kind of joking, Cardell, but that's to everyone's point here about like taking the adaptation and making it your own. Like there are things that I hope they do like try to be original with, but like you said, Cardell, like Sokka doesn't bend, right? He is sometimes the comedic relief, right? And but he does get a lot of chicks though. So like if Sokka is out here and he's a lame, then like that's I'm gonna sour on the whole thing. Like Sokka's got to be the ladies' man here.
Do you,
It seems like such an immature thing to want in the show, but like that's
do you,
No,
inherently
but
Sokka.
it's the little things like that that do, like, they add up to have a bigger value. Like, you start off with Death Note, and one of your creative differences, one of your, you know, interpretations is to make Light Yagami white, which trashes the whole story from the jump. Like, the story is dependent on him being Japanese, on his dad being in a Japanese police department,
yep.
right?
Right,
So it's like you throw the whole story out the window off of that one change.
Yep.
right.
Well, and
No,
I think
that's a
it's
good
just
point.
so disrespectful to viewers. Like in the Death Note example, like someone couldn't understand. Like as an American, I wouldn't watch it if it was about a Japanese person in a Japanese police department. Like, no, I don't understand. I can't do this. It's like,
Like,
no,
people
like
didn't just watch Squid Games with subtitles for the whole thing.
exactly, exactly. I mean, it's just bananas, dude. Like, I think one of the nitty gritty complaints I have about the trailer for Avatar, which again could get changed, but it didn't in One Piece's case, is that the uh, the costumes looks a little too cartoony to me. Like the colors are a little too much. And when I saw the trailers for One Piece, I was like, oh, I hope they muddy those up. And they didn't. Like they were really like they were a little too much. And they were very comic accurate, but like still it was a little much there. So I think the overall tone of the trailer, from my vantage point, looked great. I just think about the practicality. I'm looking at Uncle Iroh. He looks a little too poofy to me, which he was in the first season. But I'm like, yo, this man's trying to get yoked by season 3. So, I don't know if he's going to make it, right? So, whereas like the Fire Lord, I think they were very smart to cast a well known actor there and to do the
Agreed.
face reveal immediately. So,
I
like
mean,
that
Mhm.
Mark
like
Hamill voiced Fire Lord Ozai in the animated, so like you can't just
Let
you got to go big there.
yes.
Yeah, yeah. But I do like that all the other people are, from my vantage point, unknown. They're not like breakout actors, right? So I think that'll serve the series well. They only have 3 seasons to do, right? So if they don't nail this, then
Well,
what are we doing?
I mean, they should really do more than 3 seasons. But getting unknown actors helps them in twofold. It helps them determine their own characters and their own adaptation, so they don't have any preconceived notions of how this character will be played. And
Right.
two, it saves you money because you're not putting up all that money for a
Right.
well-known actor unless it's for the Fire Lord driving your series. But oh, they cast him as the villain. It's a wrap. That's how you do it, man. You get at
And
least one big actor. Spend that money.
I think it's a good thing for like these kinds of TV shows to get unknown actors because when you're to your point, Nigel, when you're adapting something that already has like a huge fan base from the original source material, like you don't want too big of an actor to overshadow the original source material. That's why like you see a lot of these big TV shows, a lot of like the characters started off as unknowns and now they're just known as those characters because at the time the character is bigger than that actor. You look at like the guy who plays Jon Snow, no one knew who he was before Game of Thrones. He's always going to be Jon Snow wherever he pops up at. You know what I mean? And like I think you do yourself a favor as like the showrunners by, to your point, Nigel, letting these unknowns put their own kind of flavor onto it without, because you're kind of playing free, right? Like you're kind of like the 8th seed in the playoffs. Like you ain't even really supposed to be here. So like go ahead and jack up that
Right.
3. It might go in, it might not, but you ain't supposed to be here anyway. So go for it.
Yeah, the ideal situation is like the Harry Potter model, right?
Mhm.
Harry Potter fans were pissed that the movies took creative liberties and changed some things, but at the end of the day, most people I think that are fans of Harry Potter like both mediums, and they can like the movies for what they are and say the books are the true Harry Potter, that's the true story. I wish they did more with the ghosts in the movies. But you go, they wanted to save money on the ghosts so that they could spend money on all the other stuff. Oh, this character is a little different, but it was worth it for the end result. Just to see it on that, like in that medium. So I think with any of these things, like that's got to be the goal. And I think even with good intentions, there are people in the room that are like, no, we need to keep it exactly 1-to-1. It's like, dude, you're talking about you've already suspended disbelief. You're talking about creating a world where people shoot fire out of their hands, and like we're good. Like just pivot a little bit, and let's see what happens. But like the kid that plays Aang, like he needs to be the goofiest kid there can be. But then they're racing the clock because they got a young kid to play him, but now he's going to grow up. What happens when he hits a 6-inch growth spurt in the
Yeah.
next year and a half, right?
Yeah.
So
And I mean, I think
that
they
kind of
can
stuff.
do it, but I mean, like 2 points. Like number one, the goofiness has to be there. Like you made a point earlier, Mike, about like everyone trying to do like this like serious dark stuff. Avatar is not one of those things. Like we need Aang to be Aang. But also the other point too about like him like growing up because he's a kid. I mean, if they were able to do it with like Stranger Things, it can be done. They just
I mean, did y'all see that trailer though? Did it look like there was any goofiness in it? I think
no,
it's
it
going the
it really
dark route.
didn't. Like the
didn't.
tone was not like classic Avatar.
But
So
to
I
be
am a little
fair-
bit worried about that, but
originally, and I know we've talked about this before, originally Avatar was shot for kids, and like towards the end of season 1 they realized, like based on polling, they had teenagers watching, so they shifted the tone.
Yeah.
right.
So I think in the reverse, they know Avatar fans that already exist are going to watch it, even to hate it, right?
Yeah.
So now they're thinking, how do I capture new people? They got to go with that darker tone. And I'm okay with that for the trailer. I'm okay if there's a seriousness throughout it, but like what makes it so like the original story so fun is like they're like, oh, we got to fight the Fire Lord. And there's a whole episode of Aang just having nightmares and like fighting the Fire Lord with no pants. And it's like, that's the whole
Yeah.
episode, right? Like, it's just like, that's what you want to see unfold. And then it's a real gift to juggle both that tone and then the serious tone. But, I understand like using the trailer. If in the middle of that trailer, like, this is really serious, we got to fight this guy. And then it's him doing that goofy dance he does when he's feeling embarrassed. That's not going to land for a new viewer.
Right.
But I don't know. I just
And one thing I do hope that they really get right is the Cabbage Cart Man.
yes.
He's reprising his role, isn't he? Didn't they
Look,
announce that?
like-
Yeah,
I think
so.
he can be like very quickly, like as the gates of Omashu are opening, you can kind of see his cart there. Which, by the way, all things aside, Omashu looks amazing. Omashu
Yeah.
looks
Yeah.
amazing. But yeah, Carl, to your point, like that's one of those goofy things where it's just like the fans who are already fans of Avatar, like we are, we're gonna see Cabbage Man and be like, yes, this means nothing, but yes.
That is the original voice actor. I just double checked. He's gonna reprise his role.
Oh yeah, let's go.
I
He
would
deserves it.
predict if they have enough time, they're going to have by like the second to last episode will be of the Cabbage Man. It will be about him. That's usually how these shows
A
go. Something
standalone
big,
episode. Yeah.
yeah, something big happens by like the 6th or 7th episode, and then they shift it to a whole different, smaller character to keep you
Right.
at the edge of your seat. I think that'll happen.
That would be amazing, honestly. And speaking of people who were introduced towards the end of the season, we got one shot of the actress playing Azula.
Mhm.
This is a big thing for me in this series because Azula is one of those. She's one of those characters that makes a show. Like, she is one of my favorite like villains. Period. And we don't a lot of Azula in book one and like season one of the show. So I'm interested to see how much of her they give us to tease for season two, especially if they're not sure they're gonna get a season two.
Right.
But that being said, I need whoever this actress is, because I don't know her, I need her to bring me like unhinged Homelander energy, or else it's not gonna work. I mean, let's just be real. We want batshit crazy Azula. We need it. We deserve it, and it has to be there for any of this to work.
Yeah, I'll be interested because I saw that was one of the big areas of complaint that I thought was blown out of proportion. Was people were concerned because she seemed like too young of an actress. I'm like, maybe you don't remember these kids are all like
They're all
preteens
kids.
except for one or two of them, right?
Right.
So that's the kind of thing where I do wish they would age up and make that decision early on and just
Aang
move it
fights the
up. But
Fire
they've
Lord when he's
committed,
11.
right? So
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
there's only so much you can do. She looks like she's her age, but again, I mean, it looks to me like the choreography and stuff is gonna be there. I would hope if they've gone through spending hundreds of millions of dollars or however much they spent, like I think I saw something like 8 to 10 per episode or whatever. Like the one thing you can nail, you might not be able to do water as special effects for the super monster at the end of book one. You should be able to nail like the vibe of the characters in your acting. Like that
Yeah.
shouldn't
Yeah.
be dependent on the special effects. So
Are we going to talk about Yu Yu?
You know, I guess we can transition to that. But I mean, oh god, I mean, I don't even know where to begin.
I'll lead it off.
How about we
I'll
begin with
I'll
the
start it
wigs?
off.
With the wigs. Let's talk
I'm gonna
about
start it off. I am not excited. Okay.
These wigs look horrible on every single character.
No, like
Let's just
some of them is
say-
worse than others. Like Karama's is terrible, bro.
Yeah, it's
they
bad.
really put that out and were like, yeah, this is good.
Yo, can I be honest with y'all? Can I be honest with y'all? When I think it was someone in the group chat, maybe I think it was you, Cardell. You were like you put that in a group chat, the trailer like link, and I pulled it up, and I didn't watch it at first because I thought it was I literally thought it was a joke. I thought it was like fan made. I did not take it seriously, and then you called me like the next day, and you were like, "Yo, have you seen the trailer yet?" And I'm like, "No. Why would I? Why would I do that to myself? Why would I do that?"
But I want to know, somewhat we should do research on this. Are these live action adaptations getting better reception in Japan than they are around the world? Because who is asking for this? Yu Yu Hakusho is
Bro.
an old anime, right? That we all love and people our age love, right?
It's the
But
anime.
genuinely, who is sitting around like, nah, you know what we've been sleeping on? Yu Yu Hakusho. Let's
Nobody.
do it.
Hold on. I tweeted about this the other day. I saw something that said that they're working on a My Hero Academia live action. Bro,
Oh dear God, no!
y'all got to stop this shit, yeah.
Why?
Like
Yeah.
they got to stop, bro.
What?
It
Hasn't
doesn't-
even
it
earned
doesn't
that
make
right
sense.
yet.
What makes me feel bad, and I don't want to
Good
like
point,
joke
Nigel.
about someone's health, but Yu Yu Hakusho's author Tagashi, who also did Hunter x Hunter, he just put out a potential ending for Hunter x Hunter because he's like, dude, my health is so bad, I might die. I think his health got worse after seeing this Yu Yu Hakusho live action trailer, bro.
Mike,
Mine
He
was.
just
legitimately.
saw that and said, I need to put out a potential ending for Hunter x Hunter because who knows what'll happen when I see the finished product. I can't believe I saw that they had the Doctor Strange third eye on Hiei in that trailer.
Bro,
And I was like, what is going on?
bro.
Doctor
Tagoro,
Strange?
Tagoro just looks like.
Oh, the girls. Oh my god.
Oh my
You know
god,
what he looks like from X-Men 3 back in like 2007. Last Stand. Remember they had the Juggernaut. He looked like that, like fake ass
You,
prosthetic.
he just
you know
looks
what
like
pisses me
he just
off?
looks like a fly nigga in Korea in like tech gear.
And then Elder Tagoro just looks like someone you found on the street. No disrespect to the actor. You do your thing, get paid. But also, you know what's upsetting about these live action trailers is the amount of cosplayers you see that have an awesome costume. And then you see these live action trailers with like they've got thousands of dollars to pay these people. They're like, yeah, so here's some sunglasses from the Dollar Tree.
It's like, bro, you literally could have gotten a better outfit from Party City. You could have Amazoned a better costume than what some of the.
This is like
Go ahead, bro.
Japan CW right here. Like, remember when
This
the
is not
CW
even.
was
Yeah.
hot?
No, this is not even CW material.
No,
Like,
this
at
is
least when,
2B
like,
material.
at least like when the Flash on CW trailer came out, people were excited about it. I don't know anyone who's excited about this. You
Yeah,
know
I
what?
don't
And
know.
to the trailer's credit, there were a lot of shots in the trailer where I was like, oh, that's straight from the anime. Like when Yusuke and Genkai are using the spirit wave to balance on a little needle. I found myself kind of chuckling to myself, like, oh, I wonder how much berating of Genkai they're going to allow him to do in this show. Because if they're
But-
not just arguing nonstop, I don't even. I mean, I'm probably not going to watch it anyways
Mike.
because I don't want my eyes to bleed. But
Mike, kind of building off the point you said about them making stuff too dark and leaning on that too much. The Tokyo that we see in the anime, generally speaking, other than when the portal to the demon world is opening up, it is generally speaking a very bright, like beautiful place. That is not what I saw in the trailer.
No.
that's
No.
true.
Like,
Well, and I forget what it was. It was one of these shows. Just say House of the Dragon. So it was something more recent than that. But they were saying that like it really serves shows like this well to use really dark sets.
You know why?
There's a lot of the imperfections of
That's why.
the action and the
VFX.
special effects, and it's like, yeah. So you keep just darkening everything. It's like eventually you're just gonna be like watching like this, like. I don't know but then you'll see Karama's wig come out of nowhere, and you're like, I can't see anything now.
his
And
wig,
I saw that special effects rose.
bro. I literally
it's got to be a troll.
don't
right?
know how.
Do you think
no,
it's money laundering? Like, what,
bro. I legit want to know how somebody cleared it, bro.
But at the same
Like
time,
someone walked on set, looked at him after he got done with makeup and costume, and was like, "You're good."
but
I want to be clear. It's not his fault. It's someone cleared him. It's like if your
Yeah.
kid goes to school and you let them go looking a mess, that's on you as a parent. Your kid doesn't know any better. I just want to say, when I saw Kurama on screen in the trailer, I was like, man, Kurama fans like me are in the gutter. And then I saw Hiei in the trailer. I went, never mind. We're back. We're back, baby.
You know, I had
We're
never
back.
thought
Did
about
you
I had
see
never
Hiei's
thought about
wig?
the whole I had never thought about the whole Doctor Strange third eye thing until you said it, Mike, and I can't unsee it now.
Yeah, dude.
bro,
I want to
like,
know if they're going to give Hiei. Now, if they're smart, they will not give Hiei his demon form the same way that they never brought that stuff back in the manga or the anime.
Yeah, they
But-
wrote that shit out real quick.
yeah.
But part of me feels like they will bring it in just because of like the rest of that trailer. They're like, yeah, because you see Karasu in the trailer. His hair looks like it must be a wig too. It just
Yeah,
looks
wait
like
a second.
3-foot silky
Yeah.
long.
I want to ask all about that because I'm seeing a lot of different big character. To your point, Karasu,
I think Blue was in there too.
We shouldn't even see Karasu in season 1.
Yeah, we shouldn't see Tagoro in season 1. We should be seeing the Saint Piece.
Well, that's the thing.
Right.
When you do an adaptation of these things, you got to compress a lot, and soon people start showing up who aren't even
Look,
really in
we s-
this
we
universe
had
or whatever.
Karasu who we shouldn't be seeing. We had, I'm pretty sure I saw Bui in there who we shouldn't be seeing. We had all four team Urameshi fighting to girl at the same time, which
Right.
never happened.
Right. They're
Yeah,
I
condensing it,
just
man.
I just the only reason I push for this to be on this episode is so that viewers will understand why they do not see episode reviews of the show once it comes out.
thank you. That is a great point. I will not be wasting my life away reviewing this nonsense. But like,
Well,
and Nigel, to your point, I understand, and like, I know, guys, it sounds like we are totally shitting on this Yu Yu Hakusho trailer, which, to be
we are.
fair, we
We are.
we definitely are. We definitely are. But like, I understand condensing stuff, but I would be okay if they were like, okay, season one, this isn't a well-known thing, so we're trying to build a fan base, so we're going to introduce to Guru in season one. I would be okay with that. I would be okay if you compressed season one up until when Yusuke and Kurama storm Tarukane's stronghold when they go rescue Yukina. You could put all that in season one. I'd be okay with that compression. But introducing Karasu and the Dark Tournament this early, nah. You can't do that. I'm sorry,
You
you
don't
can't
get to
do that.
appreciate. You're not going to be able to appreciate the growth of the characters.
Right. Just like
Like
just like I just like
in
I love Toph from Avatar, but I don't want to see her in season one.
Oh, now I think they're going to introduce Toph in season one.
No,
Jesus.
no, 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 no.
No, I don't think so. Unless
Oh
it's
no,
it might be. I
timeline
think
it
it'll
wouldn't
be a.
work though, timeline wise, because she's so young. That wouldn't work.
Yeah, I got another question about the Yu Yu Hakusho trailer. I didn't see Blake Griffin in there for Kuwabara, so I'm just concerned what
Honestly,
they're
I
doing
didn't
about.
realize that's who Kuwabara was. The guy with like the blonde hair. I was like,
Yeah.
what's going on here?
I just
And
knew who he
it's
was from the blue jumpsuit. Now it's just like that,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
like,
got to be him.
yeah,
he doesn't look beefy enough. Kuwabara needs to be like that
yeah. He's a
dumb,
meathead.
like
Yeah.
Like almost Beavis and
endearing.
Butthead like he needs to be like.
Can we talk
Right.
about Japan VFX? Like, because these VFX in the Yu Yu Hakusho movie look, I mean, the show looked just like the Attack on Titan movie that came out in like 2012, 2014. I'm like, all these live action adaptations from Japan, their VFX don't really evolve too much. They look the same. And I'm like, I'm looking at the trailer where Koenma's talking to him and he has this like 3D display for him. I'm like, you didn't have to do that, especially since it seems like you didn't have the budget to do that in VFX wise. Like, why are we like, is it just okay over there in Japan to have these shoddy graphics, these shoddy little VFX?
I,
It's, some of the
I, I,
monsters and demons in
I'm
there.
watching
It's
the.
like,
I'm watching the trailer at quarter speed so I can see all the characters, and I just saw Kurama doing a breakdance rose whip, spinning on.
no,
okay, I'm
come
about to.
on, don't tell
I've
me
been
that.
watching the whole time. I'm gonna do that.
And now I'm watching
quarter.
Tagoro do the Morpheus from Matrix 2, telling all four of them to come forward, bro. Like, this is disrespectful.
Let
To
me rewatch this
every.
for the last time.
I've been
I
watching
just.
on repeat while y'all talked because I'm like, I can't believe this is happening. Like,
Yeah, I just listeners, if you guys are still with us while we poo poo on Yu Yu Hakusho,
look at that back.
this this is one of those things where uh, again, animes are very, very hard to adapt to live action. I mean, just look at recent history. This is one of those I feel like they should just never touch. Like if you like honestly, Netflix, if you wanted to invest in this particular IP, just do the animation again. Do it with
Yeah.
with
Or
better
remaster it.
animation and remaster it. Just
Yeah.
Yeah.
do that. Everything does not need to be live action. Everything does not need to be live action. Just because you can doesn't mean
Doesn't
you
mean you
should.
should.
Just like
Okay.
every book doesn't need an adaptation, too. Like, that's a
Right.
key point. Like, sometimes, like, you just don't need it. Like,
You just
it's
don't need it.
good on its own.
I blame Lord of the
Ugh.
Rings. Ever since Lord of the Rings in 2000, like everybody thinks they can adapt anything and they can, but people don't realize Lord of the Rings stuck to the book, and there were 4 hour, 5 hour cuts of those things that they had to
Right.
condense down. Characters had to
And
be
the
taken out.
irony
Storylines had to be
of
taken
Lord
out.
of the Rings is they nailed Lord of the Rings. He came back to do The Hobbit and failed miserably.
You know why? Because they
Trying
tried
to
to
do the-
change it from what it was.
Right. And it's like, again, who's asking for this when it comes to the anime stuff? Like, I'm happy to rewatch Yu Yu Hakusho twice a year for the rest of my life and be good, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
I
mean,
just
I
watched
don't
it for
need
the
it.
first time fully.
Oh
and
my
I had to
gosh.
apologize to you
This
guys.
idiot, bro.
Listen,
No, I remember.
Where have you been for 30 some odd years,
That's
kid?
the
Remember-
first time Nigel realized he was really aging up is when he went, "Oh, I thought it ended 23
No.
episodes ago."
That's true. Remember why I didn't finish it as a kid, and then I realized, oh, there's more to this, and then I finished it, and I was like, yo, I had to apologize to you guys. I was like, I clown you guys, but man, there's nothing I would change. There's no filler in Yu Yu Hakusho. There's nothing to change. You shouldn't compress anything. You shouldn't cut out storylines. Everything
Nope.
needs to be used. Every time I thought I would change something, it pays off in a couple episodes later. I'm like, you just can't change anything, man. It's perfect. And it's like what I told you, Prince. You got to pick your reference material good. If you want to adapt something, pick it good. Why did Rurouni Kenshin have 4 movies and be successful? Because at the end of the day, they didn't try to copy the anime. They looked at it and was like, yo, this is just a period piece in the
Right.
Edo
Right.
period. Let's just have crazy fight scenes and make it a period piece and have the characters named and act like them. Boom. That's all.
And was some of it cringy? Yes. Some of
Yes.
it was clearly on cables,
Yeah.
but so much of it was cool. Like it was so
Yeah.
like, oh wow, that's what it
Yeah,
could look
but
like.
there's also not
How
a
did
ton of
they-
special effects in Rurouni Kenshin either, right? It, like you said, it's a period piece. It's
Right.
about a samurai, you know what I mean? In a period piece. That's it. There's no spirit guns or
no,
any of that
I
shit.
feel
speaking
I'm
of spirit
smart to
guns,
agree.
that's
I just watched the
bad.
trailer. The spirit gun in here looks like a Rasengan from like Naruto Ninja Storm 3 or some shit.
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
it's
These VFX
terrible.
Are so
The
dated.
VFX are really bad, bro.
We
look
keep
like the
bringing up
VFX,
Rurouni
like, come
Kenshin,
on.
which makes me realize they nailed a like live action version of Kenshin's hair. Like it's obviously not what the anime looked like, but you're like, yeah, that works. How did they
Yes.
possibly not look at this Kurama and go, that ain't
You know,
like,
every time y'all bring up this wig, it really hurts me inside because Mike, you're a Kurama guy, as am I.
yeah,
Like,
because we're men of culture. But you know, like it just, I mean, we ain't part of the 3-eyed triad. I
Yo,
was so, you know
yo,
what? The
careful.
best thing about this trailer,
Careful.
the best thing about this trailer is now I can call every Hiei fan Doctor Strange from now to the end of time, and just let those dirty Pavina boys know that they like the same character in every
Right.
anime.
Well, we can just
you
call
see
you.
the-
We could just call you Kurama fan, Sexy Red.
Thank you. Are you trying to compliment
Hold
me?
up, Kurama's the man. Hold up, let's brainstorm here. What if they get to the point where they keep making this live action adaptation, and they get to the point
You
where
walk into traffic and
Kurami's-
reenact the first episode. That's what you do if they keep this going forward, bro.
Well, what if they get to the point where Kurama has to challenge the kid? Do you think they have the balls to display Kurama as he is in the anime, a guy who's willing to sacrifice a child?
I'm gonna be honest with
I'm
you. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, Nigel. If
Well.
they get to that point and it's not canceled, I will eat my fucking Crocs.
You heard it
I'm
here
gonna hold
first,
you to
folks.
that.
I'm holding you to it.
there's zero chance they make it that far. Let's just be,
There should
real.
have been zero chance they made it to this trailer. This looks
Yo.
like an SNL skit.
All
I'm
the
sorry,
characters look like
everybody that-
K-pop group kids. Like what the
Also,
hell?
can we talk about? You're talking about Kurama. I'm looking at what minute mark.
Oh my
It is
gosh.
at the minute and 17 seconds. I
Oh,
thought that
look
was
at that.
Yoko Kurama. It's Elder Tagoro, and it really like I'm scared what Yoko Kurama might look like. Look what they did. Look what they did to my boy Botan, one of my favorite anime girls. No disrespect
For
to the
real.
Hold on,
actress.
hold on.
For real.
I'm looking at Kuwabara again, and he got black hair with blonde highlights.
Zesty.
K-pop group,
Bro.
right there, bro.
I can't.
I just
can't.
I don't understand. You know who looks the best in this whole trailer is Koenma.
He really does.
Yeah,
If we're being
honestly.
honest.
Yes.
His fit looks good. His actor looks good. I don't know, man.
These
Bro, look
Actually,
at
effects look
let's
so
be
bad.
honest.
Taguro
Cool
got
Bar's
this
sword
baggy
kinda looks
Wilson
good.
Fisk suit on.
Hey, Cool Bar's kind of does look tight.
Yeah, it's look, listeners. It's the moral of the story is collectively as a pod, we are much more excited for this Avatar live action adaptation than we are this Yu Yu Hakusho one. I don't even know when the Yu Yu Hakusho one comes out. I don't care.
December 14th.
That's
No.
this Friday.
Yep.
Oh dear
Oh
Lord.
no. Who's gonna watch it?
Oh, that part
I'm
where
gonna
he
watch it.
punches the
I'll take it for
ground.
the team so I can properly
No, I'm gonna
critique
watch it.
every detail.
That point where he
Um,
punches the ground looks like the Matrix Reloaded graphics when Neo
Yo.
fighting all those Agent Smiths with the messed up VFX. Oh, it looks so bad, man.
Cordell,
Yo,
if you watch it,
nah,
we may have
listen.
to do an IG live. I may have to do an IG live with you just so I can get your post episode 1 reaction.
Yo, Bui's definitely in here. Karama's wig is definitely worse than Hie's eye in this trailer.
It is.
Like it gets worse throughout the trailer. Like it gets all frizzy and frazzled. It's really bad,
Also,
bro.
there's a lot of spinning in the trailer. A lot of spinning. And there's a scene in the trailer where all three of them attack Toguro at once, and then it's not that it freeze frames, it's like they all stop. Like I think it's trying to show he's so strong. But Karama's like just standing like with a kickstand, his legs just like resting on his stomach. Look, man. How did the Here's what we want. No more live action adaptations. I'm a man that has matured. I want filler now. Go back to shows like Yu Yu Hakusho and create new filler of more just of the detective days before the Dark Tournament and everything. If you want to make new content, make a new movie that's non-canon that we can go watch for nostalgia and move on. No more of this. We don't want it. No one wants it.
Yeah, no, we don't want it, guys. We don't want it. Again, just
let
because you
things
can
lie.
doesn't mean you should. Just not everything needs to be a live action. I know we poo-pooed on it for about 20 something minutes, but I am very excited about Avatar. I'm gonna be optimistic, guys. I'm gonna be optimistic and say that it's gonna be decent. One thing I think we can say for sure, it can't be worse than Yu Yu Hakusho. It can't be. It can't be. There's not one timeline in the multiverse where this Avatar show is going to be worse than Yu Yu Hakusho.
I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
I think Avatar bare like minimum will be a 6.5 out of 10. Like I don't think it could go lower. It looks like they put the budget in. It looks like so like I think a 7.5 is that's great for any of these attempts. I think it's got
Yeah.
potential. Who sees what it'll turn
Look,
into?
it can't be
Yeah.
as
Yu Yu
bad
Hakusho
as
looks
M.
like
Night
it's
Shyamalan's
not
movie.
cracking 3 or 4. M. Night
Yeah.
Shyamalan, this goes out to you, man. I can't believe you didn't watch the source material. I'm still mad about this.
How did you
And
stop?
I'm mad at y'all for watching that movie. I was never going to do that to myself.
I was lied to. Someone told me it was the bomb, and I watched it in theaters, and I was so pissed.
I
Well,
will say one of the things that one of the things that could have saved some of these adaptations when One Piece was getting made, they brought multiple like One Piece YouTubers into the writing room to help correct some of these problems that have hundreds of thousands of followers that you can call them geeks, but like they know One Piece. And so they were able to be the ones going, people aren't going to like that. But here's a nod to something that kind of is talked about, but never happens in
and
the
look how it
manga.
turned out.
And they added new stuff. They brought in so many new fans to One Piece with the live action. And that's got to be the goal, is to like pay homage and bring in new fans to the fandom. This, whatever this is, no one is going to go, oh, what's this Yu Yu Hakusho thing? Let's check it out. Right?
I think
And
for
all
this,
of us on this call, it's just going to be rage watching.
you know what they did? All they did was go on Twitter, look at one of these random polls that people put in their page. Oh, what's your favorite anime? Oh, Yu Yu Hakusho's getting a ton of hits. Let's go ahead and make that. No, you actually need to be invested in this shit, okay? Because the people coming to watch it are invested in the show. They grew up watching this. They showed it to their kids. Like they have a nostalgic feeling associated with this show. These people want to see it done well. And when you don't listen to the base things that people are saying, don't be expected when this flops.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't be surprised.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Cardell, definitely post in the group chat later on this weekend after you watch episode 1. Let us let us know what you thought about it.
Tweet it. Share your Twitter handle and live tweet you're watching. I would
You
love to
should.
keep up with
You
it
should.
because
I got you.
And while we're at it, guys, if y'all are still listening, drop a comment. Let us know what you guys thought of the trailers. I honestly, if you're a Yu Yu Hakusho fan, I wouldn't advise you to watch the trailer because it's only going to make you mad. If you're not a Yu Yu
it'll
Hakusho
make you
fan,
stronger.
you should go watch the anime because it's amazing. Nigel here can personally vouch. He just watched it for the first time. He thought it was great. So,
As a
anyways,
33-year-old man, I thought it was so good.
guys, I really appreciate y'all getting on here. We will be back. Mike, I know we still got to do book 2. We did book 1 for Avatar a while back. Still got to do book 2.
Yeah.
But we'll be back definitely to review these episodes when they do come out in February. So y'all stay tuned for that. But I've been Prince. Guys, it's a pleasure, and we'll catch y'all next time.
Peace.
Han Solo shot first.
Chroma clear.